Well, hello there. I am A10, and today I am gonna give you a and give you a review about well about the Force Awakens because Last Jedi came out last month, not too long ago. On like first came hit theaters on the 14th. It's like the first or second of January. Sorry, it's been a while. I think been relaxing a bit too much. So, trying to get my butt off being not so lazy that I normally am. So, I figured this is a great way to start. So, I've been wanting to do a review on The Force Awakens, my primary, more like what I liked about it and what I didn't like about it. So, first, gonna go over what I liked about it. It had awesome stuff. One in particular, Kylo Ren stopping a blaster bolt. That was pretty awesome. It was also unique that the First Order took a planet and used it as a super weapon. How did you manage? Now, for me, my question was like, how did you manage to swing that? You took a planet and said, let's turn this planet super weapon. Boom. Oh, we got a super weapon. How did you manage to swing that? That was incredible. A giant planet becomes a super weapon and can blow up many planets and can blow up many other planets. Pretty cool, I have to say. I have to say that's pretty unique. Ah, jeez. I'm sorry. I had a longer version while attempting recording before. I mean, I do kind of like on how they mentioned that Luke tried to try to train younglings to be a Jedi. Pretty unique. They brought back the old characters: Han Solo, Leia, Chewbacca, and Luke. They can and with Finn. Now, well, wait first. Now those are events that I liked. Moving on. Oh wait, before that, I'm sorry, it's been a while since I've seen that movie. Jakku with all the Star Destroyers, epic. It showed that the Empire made a final stand, but was eventually finished. So now, moving on to the characters. I'm not going over the old ones. What's the point? They've been around in like three different movies. There's no point in going over them. There's no point in it. The new characters, however, I'm putting Ray to a different time because they really. I mean, I do like that leaves a mystery. Who are her parents? Why was she left behind? That's just about it. Finn. The way I see it is that Finn is a defective First Order trooper that basically shows that the First Order is not that different from the Galactic Empire. They're pretty much the same. They're human beings who have free. Both empires have troopers of human beings that are known for being defected. Unlike the clones in the Clone Wars, the difference between the clones and stormtroopers for stormtroopers is that, well, I'm not gonna lie to you. Clone troopers, there have been instances in which clones have gone defected and rebelled against the Republic. However, it was a very rare case. It was very rare. You gotta remember, these are clones of Jango Fett. These are clones of him. He is very obedient. He is very, very obedient. So you're producing hundreds of Jango Fett's that are obviously going to be very obedient. And so, but the way I see it is that they're basically adding attributes of your average, ordinary Joe soldier. I mean, look at the fate. I mean, look at the helmet. The dying soldier puts blood on his helmet, and then he's like this. He's just frozen there, like he just stops for a moment. He freezes. He doesn't even kill these civilians. And when he takes the helmet, he's like, he's panting. He's terrified. He's he's been afraid. He's afraid. This guy is afraid. He's horrified. But what he's seen horrified him. He was not prepared for this. He was not ready for it. He thought it was going to be easy, nothing harm. But to put it simply, it traumatized him. Because he saw these civilians were innocent, and yet they were killed. Does that remind you of our military? Yes, our soldiers go onto the battlefield, and they expect to know what it is. They're like, oh, this can be easy. It's like movies, just running guns. It's all this awesome stuff. They find out it's a nightmare. It's horrifying. Soldiers often come back home with PTSD. I have to say he has a teensy weensy low case of the PTSD. Now, put in the comments below whether you think Finn has a little bit of PTSD as a result, because soldiers of PTSD, they often stop on a battlefield and just stand there and wonder what's going on. Because the brain is trying to process what's going on, but it's hard. It's hard for them to process it. Because what they're seeing is horrific. Poe Dameron, that was very unique. You got an elite pilot who's not relying on force or anything, just skills alone. That was different. That was unique. Kylo Ren, he used the force in ways never before seen. Stop the blastable. Now let's just say, I mean, of course, it's never seen before. I mean, let's look at Episode 2 with Yoda. He used the force to stop objects from crushing Obi-Wan and Anakin. He never used to stop a blaster bolt. Kylo Ren, blaster bolt fired, and freezes it in the air for such a sustaining period of time. It's unbelievable. It's wicked. And that was a blast, and that was by Finn, man. And also, he's shot by freaking Chewbacca's blaster. Boom. Right? Like right in the stomach. The gut, man. And look at the First Order Troopers, which has armor that kind of like increased resistance. One shot from the bowcaster. I mean, you look at Han Solo, he uses it. He's like, give me that. He's then like, I like this. Because it was so powerful. And yet, it hurt Kylo Ren, but it did not kill him. Kylo Ren used the Force to sustain him, to reduce the injury so significantly that the damage wasn't that bad. No Jedi, never before seen. We never seen somebody use the Force to help them out, to help them survive what would have been an instant kill. And Kylo Ren was not wearing an armor; he was wearing cloth. He was just wearing cloth. He survived because he used the Force. That was unique. It was a new way. Now Masnetta or whatever, that bug-eyed lady, the one with the goggles. Not not so much of a fan of her. Because they just left way too much mysteries. The mysteries they left was way too severe, was just way too many. One thing that really kept nagging my mind, trying to wrap my head, Luke's lightsaber. How did you get a hold of that? Did you go to Cloud City and start looting the place? Come on. And she's like, that's a story for another day. Like Han's like, how'd you get this? Good question. But that's a story for another day. I'm like, dude, seriously. That is Anakin's lightsaber. Now people say it's Luke's lightsaber. For me, I'm like, no, it's not. It's Anakin's lightsaber. It originally was Anakin's because you gotta remember, at the end of episode 3, Obi-Wan picks up the lightsaber and comes up so forward. Obi-Wan has his lightsaber, but he gives Anakin's lightsaber to his son, Luke. So I consider it more like Anakin's lightsaber. Now let's move on to problems I've had. Starting off with Poe Dameron. Oh wait, I think it's a skip him. I really didn't have any problems. I mean, I kind of got attached to him. I kind of liked him. He was pretty cool. So let's skip Poe Dameron and move on to Finn. He's able to use a lightsaber. Now, I guess you can say with the saber stuff, like with TR-8R, FN1159, I believe. Now, if there's any of you guys who know his actual call sign, put in the comments below. I could be wrong. I believe it's FN1159. I believe. But everybody calls him TR-8R, traitor, because one line, all he said was traitor. Can't get much simpler than that, my friend. Can't get simpler than that, my good friends. I mean, using his saber staff, which is used to challenge the lightsaber, so they're really not much different. And also, he challenged FN1159, so he's already had a little bit of experience with utilizing it. Then again, he still lost. But hey, at least he gave it a shot. You gotta give him an. I mean, you gotta give him an A for effort. You seriously have to give him an A for effort. Moving on to Kylo Ren. Now, as you clearly see, no problems with Poe Dameron, a little bit of problems with Finn. Clearly, clearly the last person is the one I've had the major issues with. But let's save it for later. Kylo Ren. I had some problems because there were things that were just contradictory. That just really didn't add up. That I'm like, dude, you did this awesome thing before, and yet you can't do it, and when things are easier. Can you guess what but can you guess what I'm talking about? That's right. Luke trained Jedi. Kylo Ren, or his actual name, Ben Solo, killed all of them, and they were strong. They were trained by Luke, who was very strong in the Force, and so they learned. So they were pretty good in the Force before they were stronger in the Force than Rey. Here he is up against Rey. He gets his butt handed. He gets his face scarred by her. I'm like, dude, you were pulled in Order 66 with Luke. That was that was like that was a lot of younglings. He was just one person who never held a lightsaber until now. What's she doing? She's kicking your butt. And also, Kylo Ren is trying to be Vader. She even said, "You never be good as Vader." And I'm like, dang right, I'm like, Kylo Ren, she's dang right about that. We've already seen you don't have what it takes. You're a Vader wannabe, but you can't be him. You want to finish what he started, but you can't. You can't finish what Darth Vader started. You don't have what it takes to finish it. Also, jeez, I had this. Oh my gosh, jeez, man. Oh, also, he's not that terrifying. He's not that terrifying. I mean, this is how I compare it to. This is how I would compare it to. So, say Kylo Ren and Vader are walking in line to get and say it's winter and they're cold. They need hot cocoa. So Kylo walks up and says, it's like, I would like a cup of hot cocoa. The tender says, sorry, we're low on the chocolate. We're low on milk. Sorry. I'm like, sorry, we're out of milk. Can't have it. He's gonna try, and like, you will. And he's like, no, come back tomorrow. We'll have more milk by then. So eventually, after arguing, the tender wins because the chocolate, the hot chocolate tender is not afraid of him. Darth Vader comes up behind him, just breathing alone, and the tender's already shaking. He's already afraid. Just the breathing alone. There's been reports that just the breathing alone from Vader was enough to scare rebel soldiers. It was enough to scare them because of how deadly this guy is. Kylo Ren, these guys weren't afraid. Poe Dameron, as far as we know, he's not afraid, and yet he gives it a shot anyways. Now say that was Vader. Oh, he would run away. He would just be like, he's like, he would be like, I'm gonna peck Mr. Leave, excuse me, please, and just ran out of there. So the way I put it, Darth Vader walks up, may I please have a cup of hot cocoa? And I'm like, sorry, we're out of milk. You better, sorry, you can't have any, we're out of milk. You better give me that cup of hot cocoa. But we're out of, doesn't matter. Yes, sir, we'll find something, we'll find some, how about some water instead of milk? It will do fine. That'd be good. Okay, one hot cocoa coming up. They would be forced to give in because he's terrifying. He is frightening. Vader was frightening. I mean, he is, of all the terrifying movie villains, he is like, I believe he's like number one of how horrific he is. He is a horrifying sight. He is the symbol of fear, danger. You hear him breathing, you know danger. You know that here comes a guy who's ready to chop you up, and he's coming for you. You better get out of the way. You better do what he says, or give up, or surrender, or you're dead. You are done. Oh, I mean, he showed no mercy in episode 4. He literally showed no mercy. Before he became Vader, when he was Anakin, he killed separatist leaders. He killed them. They're like, my lord, it is a pleasure to meet you. Just killed all of them. What do you say about that? That's a man of saying absolutely no mercy. Pretty cool, I have to say. Kylo Ren actually has some mercy. Are you going to be afraid of somebody who shows mercy? You will not. You will not. Somebody shows no mercy until you do what they say. You're going to be forced to give in because you want to stay alive. But here's this guy just like, give me what I want, and you'll live. Don't give me what I want, you'll die. And they will be forced to give in. That's how I compare it. That's my problem with Kylo Ren. I mean, he's not frightening enough. He's not frightening. I mean, seriously, his voice is only altered because of the mask. I guess you can say the voice is altered because of the helmet. But seriously, he just has a mask. His face is fine. His face is perfectly fine. He has this mask for no reason, just to look cool. However, Darth Vader has a perfect reason. He's been burnt. His body has been burnt to a crisp. He needs it to survive. Huh. And all that, the mystery behind the mask. Ben constantly took it off. And when I say Ben, I mean, Ben Solo. He constantly takes it off. His helmet, Vader, his helmet was removed once. Only once. You know, that says one thing. The mystery was locked away for what he looks like, why he's wearing his helmet for a long time. As for Ben Solo, moves out the first time, like, oh, it's not because his face is scarred, it's because he wants to look cool. He just wants to look cool. Gotta have a better reason than that. Have your face all scarred and wear that thing. You better have that on. You don't look. You take it off. You're no longer looking cool. But other than that, okay, I guess gotta give him credit for being a pretty cool guy. I mean, the lightsaber's cool. Moving on to the character that, for me, I'm like, can we get rid of this character? Come on, seriously. Ray. Now I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. How do I describe her? And Mary Sue. Now, I watched somebody do a video describing about it. People rage call the person who calls Ray a Mary Sue sexist. That's not what it is. Mary Sue has nothing to do with gender. It's how good the character is. And Ray, from the get go, is good at everything. Everything. Freaking everything. Millennium Falcon, technology, force, lightsaber combat. I mean, she never had a lightsaber, but she knows how to use it. She can use the force to just whip it out from the snow like a bullet. That was compared to episode 4. So Luke never done that. But if you look in episode 5, he tries to do something similar. Did he pull the lightsaber snow and went like, no, it's like, and then it finally lands in his hands. How? But why are you so good from the get-go? Why are you so good? That's why people claim she's a Mary Sue. She's at least she's good with everything at the beginning. Here's the thing. If you want somebody to get attached to a character, you gotta give them challenges. You gotta say, hey, you're not good at all these areas. There are challenges that you need to overcome. Are we good at everything from the beginning? No, we have challenges. How can you get attached to somebody that really has no obstacles? How many obstacles I have to go in my life? More than I can count. How many did she? So far, at least one. Just getting with the fact that her parents ditched her. Just one that we know of. One. Other than that, she's like, got it done, got it done, got it done, got it done, got it done. And I'm like, how can I get attached to you if you can do everything to perfection from the beginning? I can't do everything. Can I fix a car? I cannot fix a car from the beginning. I go fix a car, I'm gonna mess it up. It's an obstacle that I have to overcome. And yet, he's a Millennium Falcon. She knows everything about it from the get go. I guess you can say maybe leveraging through the garbage gets her knowledge, but as far as we know, did she operate on it? Did she fix it? No. Here you go. This would be good for 2, whatever those are things. Well, whatever those things are. So you can say, well, she built that on speeder. Yes, but there's a difference between hovering and flying. There's a big difference. They're not the same. They're not the same. No way, Jose. I mean, Ray for me is just. I mean, J.J. Abrams. What were you thinking? Ray is the major downfall with these new characters. You know, every second I cannot get attached to her because she's just so good at everything. She's so good. I cannot. I cannot compare myself to it. I can't. Let's look at Luke. Oh, from the very beginning, sent flying into a table. How are you, man? Whoa! I he got pushed around. I can compare myself to that. I get pushed around every now and then. Sometimes even physically. I got pushed around before. It's nothing new. It's she didn't. She never got pushed around. A droid that just like that just shoots like non-lethal lasers. He's like, ow! He got stunned by one of those, and she yet she used the lightsaber to perfection. How for me? I'm like, how'd you manage to swing that way? Don't understand it. It's so understand like I can't compare myself to her. Now I'm gonna go with the main and also another problem. Here, new characters, get used to them. And I'm just holding I'm like, what are you doing? I mean, now I love Halo. I'm doing this as a comparison with Halo 5 Guardians. I understand Fireteam Osiris to try and get us used to it, to these new characters, because they're going to have to kill off the old because of, especially Master Chief, because C Down is getting old. But they just, they favorite they forced the new characters onto me. They hammered them in. It's not, you want to take it slow. You want to start off a little bit and expand off of it. You can't just rush it. You can't just chuck them at the fans. They're not going to get attached to it. Same thing here. But the only thing you do, let's toss the old characters like Han Solo, Leia, Chewbacca, Luke. How about that? Would that be enough? That's only to prevent a rage, an outcry. That's where is it? They had nothing to do with the plot. Get rid of Han Solo, Leia. Now Luke, not so much. But Chewbacca, get rid of them. There's really not much of a big effect. There's not much of a huge effect on the plot. In other words, they're just there to prevent an outrage. That's the only reason they're there. There's really no other reason. There is no other reason. There is none. Luke, a little bit, because they're searching for him. But then again, they can cut him off without them even showing him. But hint that they found him. And like also another problem with the movie. Hello, Luke. Nice to meet you. Here's your lightsaber. Turns around. Looks. 5 seconds later. Written and directed by J.J. Abrams. I'm like, it's over. Really? He's on 5 seconds screen time. Well, 5 seconds staring, and another 5 extra seconds of screen time. You're taking a character that's loved and just throwing him out the window. I do have to say, them killing off Han Solo. I wasn't that much of a fan, but I come to terms because Han Solo wanted that. I mean, not Han Solo. Harrison Ford. He wasn't a fan of Han Solo, so J.J. Abrams was basically doing his best interest. They were just doing that. So at first I didn't like it and saw it as a problem, but now I've come to terms with it. I'm neutral. I'm not saying I like that idea. Still kind of hate it, but I've come to terms with it. That's for your sake, Harrison Ford. Consider yourself lucky. But Luke has been a favorite character of mine. Before I saw the prequels, I saw the original trilogy, and I loved Luke, especially in Return of the Jedi. Pretty good, pretty awesome. I loved him. But to give him a short amount of screen time, mm-mm, mm-mm, didn't like it. Now, another issue, which I bet for those of you who are watching, if you love the original trilogy, you're definitely gonna be, yeah, that was a major problem. Watching it, so many things, and I'm just like, a droid carrying plans, desert planet, an orphan, Death Star machine. Oh wait, is that a trench? Was that the aircraft guns? Oh wow, a giant super weapon. An old mentor is killed off. The mentor is killed. Somebody starts blasting away. They escape in the Millennium Falcon. They arrive and escape in the Millennium Falcon. Funny. They get into a quick dogfight. Boom, 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 taking out the guns. Funny. It's kind of weird how something like this works out. Is it just. Hmm. Now, where have I heard of those things? Hmm. Oh man, I'm trying to think. I know it's from another movie, but what? Oh yeah, reminds me of New Hope. A droid, secret plans, and droid carrying secret plans. You got that dogfight. Millennium Falcon, Tie Fighters. Tie Fighters lose the fight. Mm-hmm. Old Mentor is killed. Now, let me point this out. A lot of people overlook this because I've seen so many videos comparing Pelos, and they don't point out this. You gotta remember, Han Solo is killed by Kylo Ren. Chewbacca fires his blaster. Episode 4, Darth Vader kills Ben Kenobi. Luke fires his blaster. It's not just like those major key plots. There's even small key plots that are very similar. Therefore, making it even worse and more like Disney barely had any creative ideas. Rebels about to be crushed when destroying this super weapon. They just make it at the last moment. The last moment they make it. A person searches for a wise old man to help train the force. Luke and Yoda. Oh wow, amazing! It's amazing how that works out, doesn't it? It's kind of amazing how it's so similar. It's amazing. I don't know how that works. Then there's another. Oh yeah, Han Solo falling off the bridge. Now, this is not a major key point, but it is similar. Han Solo falls off the bridge. Episode 5, what does Luke do at Cloud City? The only difference they don't see is comparisons because Han fell due to the force of nature, gravity. Luke fell off because he jumped off. He more like jumped off. But you do not see him just go boing. You see him more like he lets go. So he lets go and falls off again and falls off. Falls off. Pops up again in Force Awakens. Falls off. There's another comparison. One character falls off. It's just that one makes it out alive and the other one doesn't. So people just leave it out. But for me, I'm like, if there's a situation that just reflects a movie before, even if one survives and the other one doesn't, it's still a reflection. It's just a bit different. So J.J. Abrams is hiding more connections and copying and stuff than everybody thinks. There's a lot more. There's totally a, a lot more. Now, if you look at it, Ray and Kylo Ren, they're clashing out, but also moving. That reminded me of Episode 6. Here's Luke just being like, and you can see them moving backwards. One of them is pushing the other opponent because they're delivering so much power. There's another. I mean, come on, guys, open your eyes. There's more connections than you think. There are several plot moments that are similar, and I'm the only one that's seeing them. I really had a lot of problems. I mean, Force Awakens were not just a reboot of Episode 4. It also included subtle plots from 5, 6. The prequels, I really don't see any connections. But, oh wait, there's another connection. Ben bows down to Snoke, which appears big, but we find out that was a hologram. Episode 5. Hologram of the Emperor. He's not humongous, but he's portrayed as is. But here's these other times portrayed as normal size or smaller. Normally smaller, but still roughly about the same height. Then again, this is contradictory, like, oh, that's how they did it. But that is nothing new. It was unique that he made him look real, that Snoke is humongous. Then again, there really wasn't much difference. An alteration in the voice. Kylo Ren, without his mask, has a voice. Puts his mask on. His voice is different. Now let's go to episode 6. His mask is removed. His pitch is higher up. But with his mask on, his pitch is lower. It's more deep. Similar to around mine. I got a very deep voice. But Kylo Ren, mask removed. Higher pitched voice. On, it's lower pitched. Again. And he has a mask on. Again. Sure, it's different. But then again, you got mouth. Seriously, there really isn't. I mean, he's dressed up in all black. Oh, funny. I could have sworn there was another villain within the same universe, within Star Wars universe, dressed up in complete black. Had a Oh, Vader. That's how much he's trying to imitate. In fact, the way I see it, the reason why J.J. Abrams wants Kylo Ren to try to be like Vader, because J.J. Abrams is saying this is Vader 2.0. You cannot have a second Vader. The first Vader was the best. This is a Vader wannabe. Kylo Ren falls short. So it's more than a reboot of The Force Awakens, of A New Hope. Tons of other components from 6 and 5 are just tossed in there. So that's really what I had. That's problems I've had with it. I'm like, what is going on? Disney creativity. That's what you're known for. What happened? Where did it go? You really ticked off the fans. There was a lack of creativity. You kind of redeemed yourself with some awesome moments, but other than that, we are just ticked off. Hey, I was watching that movie. Droid carrying plans. Oh, I was like, wow. I'm getting some New Hope flashbacks. Immediately. Immediately. He didn't, he didn't even bother to hide it. stuff was just wide open. Us foresee. Well, that's really what I have for the problem. So I have the Force Awakens. Well, that's my review of the Force Awakens. To wrap it up, I think maybe it just shouldn't have been so much a reboot of A New Hope. I think characters should have been a bit more better. I think char- I I I really think the characters could have been better, especially Ray. Nobody can understand Ray because she just knows how to do everything from at the beginning. There's no obstacles. Life is full of obstacles, but yet she doesn't have any. So the characters could have been better. Mark Hamill should have more screen time. They really J.J. Abrams really should have put his mind really should have gotten deep in the thought and be a bit more creative than just copying ideas. He copied a few and just took note and just kind of like a very small amount, like one or two, and just tossed them in there and altered them. It wouldn't be seen as reboot because he just used those ideas. He took too much and made small changes. That's all he did. He took way too much. He bit off more than he could chew. So some of the characters could have been better. Few characters were just treated like garbage. I mean, the old characters, I mean, seriously, they were treated like garbage. We'll put them in there just so you guys don't rage. But other than that, if you take them out, nothing changes. Which is true. You take out Han Solo, Leia, Chewbacca, Luke, the plot stays the same. Sure, there will be events that are altered, but the end result will be the same. You don't need these old characters. They're just in there to prevent rage amongst the fans. And that's not how you do it. It's the same with Halo 5 Guardians. You only play a few missions of Master Chief to prevent anger amongst the fans. You don't do that. If you want to toss new characters along with the old characters, you gotta have the old characters play significant roles. They have to be significant, important. They have to be to an extent that if you remove them, the results won't be the same. The ending result would be different. Where it wouldn't be the exact wouldn't the end result wouldn't be the same. But you can just remove them, and oh boy, nothing changes. Nothing even changes. Now you can say, oh, but you remove Luke, then that changes the ending because they don't find him. No, even Luke Mark Hamill has no screen time, but they indicate that Ray's found him. They just don't show him. You can just say, hey, Ray has found Luke. She got there. There's Luke. End the story. And yet you remove him, there's no change. There's really no change. These are old beloved characters, and J.J. Abrams is tossing them in there to cool things down. You don't characters aren't toys. J.J. Abrams, you better watch this. I hope you're listening. Don't Old characters are not toys. These characters have to play a significant part. But hey, you could just take them out, and the end result would be the same. Just how some events would happen would be different. What matters most is the end results. How things occur doesn't matter. It's simple math. You given one equation, you alter it into your favor. It doesn't matter how you approach the problem. As long as the right answer, as long as you get the same results. A movie is just like that. So say the Force Awakens with all the characters is a math equation. The end result is finding Luke. I can remove Luke, have Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Leia. Yet I modified the equation and leaving just the new characters in. They still find Luke. Now I guess you can say, well, and then bring up to the contradiction that I'm seem like I can get. Well, then they don't find Luke. Um, guess what? She heads to the place, holding the lightsaber. End of the movie. Like, as CinemaSins would say, roll credits. That's how it would happen. So, I mean, I love my own characters. I don't like them when they're just toyed around. Well, that was my Force Awakens review. I think it's a bunch. I wouldn't say all of it is mumbo jumbo and garbage. It's pretty good, but there were just it's rather kind of a bit. I felt like in my opinion, I felt like J.J. Abrams just slapped me across the face. I love the original trilogy. Original trilogy, I love it. Prequels, I like it. Could have been a bit better, but it's still good. The Force Awakens, I don't know what J.J. Abrams. I don't know what he did. This is how I feel. You love the original trilogy. Slapped me across the face with one movie. One movie. This was just one movie, and I felt like he slapped me across the face. So that's my review. My review about The Force Awakens is that I felt like I got slapped across the face. So I want to give you a preview into my next video. My next video probably might be at least a trailer of The Last Jedi. And then I'll do one on Halo 5 Guardians and other sorts of things. So upcoming projects is Last Jedi trailer, Halo 5 Guardians, the Master Chief Collection, and that's as of right now, that's all. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Don't know when, but I will see you next time. Well, I'm A10 in the words of Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator. I'll be back.